4 in a row for Manchester City as they pip Arsenal to the finish line.
Good evening, Tate.
Evening, Jack. You alright?
Yes, how are you?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Slightly glum, but
Yeah, it's probably,
but positive.
I think like I said before, different. What you're hoping for today would be like is probably obviously the complete opposite.
Yeah, well, we had last time I saw you actually was obviously last week, and we had a joke, and he said, "I'll see you next Monday," and I said, "Well,
Yeah.
I hopefully don't see you next Monday. I want to see you Tuesday because today would have been a day of celebrating and partying, but it is what it is. City are a beast, and it was always again up against the odds on obviously if they're winning, if they beat you lot, and then West Ham, but yeah, it is what it is. We'll dissect into all of it. But nice weekend though. You were away at the country, planned.
Yeah, I had escaped for the weekend for good reason.
Yeah, contingency plan.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm back. Yeah, a bit flustered but yeah, got home about an hour ago. So yeah, we're here.
Yeah, hopefully this podcast will go better than the last trip we had.
Yeah, God. Well, Jimmy's not here, so it should be alright.
But no, it was Albania, wasn't it?
Yeah, Albania, Tirana, the capital of Albania. So yeah, I think there'll be plenty more trips to Albania coming soon.
Very nice, very nice. So, like I mentioned earlier, we'll go through the final day, Arsenal City, talk about the title and our thoughts on it, and then part 2 will be team of the season. We'll both pick our own and see which players we agree on and disagree on, and then we'll have our usual winner and loser, and we'll do a prediction for the upcoming FA Cup final on Saturday, isn't it? I think. But like all podcasts, this one's no different. With the 2023-24 season coming to a close yesterday, can you tell me the top 3 players who were caught offside the most?
This season?
Oh,
God. Oh, yeah, okay. That's just going to be a random guess, but yeah.
Number 4 is a completely rogue player.
Can you tell me?
Decore.
Was
the 4th most player caught offside. But yeah, can you name the top 3?
Okay.
But yeah, let's start with obviously the title decider. The Man City won their 4th Premier League on the trot and 6 under Pep Guardiola. You watched it in an Irish bar, didn't you?
Yes, yep. It had one screen Arsenal, one screen Man City, and I was positioned so I could sort of see both. But like we just said, I think I was watching the Arsenal game at the very start because it might have kicked off slightly before, and then like you said, whatever minute they scored within, Man City 1-0 up. It was like, well, it's over. And there was obviously I'm in Albania, so I think there was maybe 1 or 2 other people, as in English, and a few people. There was a bloke in the Arsenal top, but yeah, it wasn't. I don't think anyone expected much else really.
Ironically, he did score in the 15th second in the first minute. So if you put them 3 to 4 digits together, it compiles something. But no, it was disappointing. It's what I'd expect to happen. I both expected both teams to win, and it was all like we said earlier. They build these final days up to be a massive crescendo, and then not much normally happens. Obviously, you have the Aguero one, in which they hang their coattails on the whole time. It's like possibly you could get another
normally
one.
A league is done really.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks, or maybe the week, whatever it might have been. But yeah, and I think this was built up, but really deep down everyone knew. And again, Arsenal, you'd have been beforehand, you'd have been pretty level-headed and like, oh, it is what it is. Like, we could probably win. They'll probably win it. It's whatever. But then, yeah, like we said, when it gets to kick off and the whistle blows, you're like, right, we can do this. And you think West Ham will do whatever they do, and City might mess up. But yeah, it ended how 99% of people would have predicted.
Yeah, because like you said, within the first minute, Foden has scored, and where it kicked off slightly later, like only about 1 minute.
It was, wasn't it? I didn't know if that was
a slight.
But yeah,
the crowd just nullified, and it's what I wanted to happen. If you could write out the scenario on paper, you get Arsenal early goal, and then on the little graphic it says, as it stands, champions. And then that might put the smallest bit of doubt in the Man City players. But yeah, if you score after a minute, then
if anything, you wanted how City played, and you wanted to do that, and you wanted them to do what you did, sort of thing. And obviously, they won in the end. You won in the end, but yeah, that, like you said, if they hadn't found the results out and seen goals flying in and stuff, then it might have changed, and the players would have felt it from the crowd. And again, obviously, where I was, you didn't quite get the commentary. There's lots of noise and people talking, whatever. So But I think in Arsenal there was a sort of rumours going around of a equaliser.
The classic last day rumour. I think it's
yeah.
happened to like.
But how does it? Who's doing that? Like,
I don't know. There was this.
Just
What
people have
annoyed
phones, I
me
don't get
was
it.
the commentators were like, "I don't know. Has there been a goal? I can't. Like, surely you should be the most informed people."
Yeah.
Apparently it came from the Everton end or something. But I remember it happened at Liverpool got done by it against Wolves. I think Spurs did it. You know the Newcastle one when we were top 4.
Yeah.
And yet there's that stupid cow, that lady, kept going 2-2. I was just like, fucking hell, we're going to be an absolute meme for the next few days.
I've not done myself any favours.
But yeah, we sort of struggled, and I think as once they went 2-0 City, that was obviously fed through to the players, and they were just like... You could sort of tell, and Everton were up for it, and Everton looked like a prime Sean Dyche team, and they played... I think that was their first loss in the last 6 games.
Yeah, they looked alright. They looked pretty good. They didn't just roll over like they were just.
Well, they were solid. They had 4-5-1 that they always play. Proper Sean Dyche team in the fact that they took ages to do every restart. Slowed the game down. Goal from a set piece. Like, what a Dyche goal that is! Just deflected free kick.
Oh yeah, it was a perfect goal.
Didn't really do much. I think Calvert-Lewin hit the post, but apart from that, they didn't really do much. They just frustrated, and Arsenal, I think they just didn't. They didn't go into third, fourth gear because they just mentally, I think they were shot. Yeah,
it's probably
They knew that West Ham weren't coming back from 3-1 down,
and it wouldn't have mattered. You could have won 10-0 and been brilliant, but it just doesn't matter.
And at full time whistle yesterday, I was a bit like, that's the first time it sort of sunk in and was like, shit, it's done now. Like, the season's done. Yeah. We were so close, but you get nothing for it. Like, we've had our best season in 20 years, the most wins we've ever had in a Premier League campaign, 28. It's 2 more than the Invincibles got, 1 point less than the Invincibles, more points than both double seasons we got. That has been a really good season and been an exciting season for us. Obviously, you come up short is painful. I think we lost it. A lot of people say bring up the Villa game, and you could pinpoint that as a game, but I think we lost it in December when you lost 2 back-to-back games to West Ham, and 1 win in 5, I think it was, in December. Because actually in 2024, City have dropped more points than Arsenal have. They dropped 6 points, we've dropped 5.
Yeah.
So there's areas that I think Arteta and the board will go and look at things and see where we can improve. I think people saying we need a striker. I don't necessarily agree we need a striker. I think we need more goals from somewhere. I don't know whether that... I think we need someone to give Saka some time off, and someone that can play on both sides.
Why was Saka injured at the weekend?
Apparently, yeah. Apparently picked up an injury yesterday or something. But we need someone to give him time off, because he plays pretty much every minute of every game, gets kicked, and we keep playing and we keep playing, and we never take him off. Like, literally never take him off. So Martinelli hasn't had his best of seasons, whereas Trossard's come through. I think Havertz has been really good up front, maybe not so much in midfield, and I think that was where the beginning of our season, the first 11 games, in Nketiah started 10 of them. And I think he hasn't started a game since December.
Not seen him at all.
And I don't think he's played more than 5 minutes.
No.
For months. And that's where we started the season quite slow. It was like a few draws, churning out 1-0s, 2-1s. It wasn't really clicking. And then since the turn of the year, we've been fucking fantastic. I think it's 17 games, 15 wins, 1 draw against Man City, and a loss against Aston Villa. Bloody hell, you would have taken that on January the 1st, having just lost back-to-back games.
Yeah, I think, like you said, that obviously, yes, you missed it by 2 points, and that's obviously draws along the way, whatever. But yeah, that run, like you said, the couple losses, it just was, hasn't done you any favours. And like we said, Man City Rodri said in his little interview, I know he said about Arsenal's mentality, about the draw and all the rest of it, but he said we just win. The last 8 to 10 games, whatever it is, we're just going to win. And to say that on live telly is pretty mad, and that is what we're dealing with. That is how good they are. That's the sort of people and players they are, and that's what it is. And
I disagree with some of his comments on that sort of thing. 'Cause we got 4 points out of them.
No, I think
they
so.
came to the Emirates and didn't have a shot for 34th minute.
No,
they actually had the worst record out of the top 4. Like in a table thing, but then they win. They batter everyone else. Like, we dropped 5 points to Fulham, and that's inexcusable.
Is it Villa beat you twice, didn't they?
Yeah.
Unai Emery's Villa beat you twice. So and that's the thing. At 4 points against City, you'd fucking hell. If you were told that before the start of the season and you're going to be in the title race and you take 4 points from City, you'd be like, well, it's going to be close, and obviously it has been. But
well, that was the difference last year. They took 6 off of us, and they won the league by 5 points. Switched that round then.
Yeah.
But it's an improvement from last year and in each year under Arteta, his first year we had 56 points. That was half of Emery's, and then it got up to 61. 69 was the year we missed out just on the Champions League, and then last year we got 84 points, and this year 89. I think we're a far better team than we were last year. We look more mature. We conceded 43 goals last season, 29 I think this season, and that is, for an Arsenal fan, fucking fantastic. I don't think I'd ever see the day where we would concede under 30 goals, because we used to ship them like no tomorrow. But Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, and the goalkeeper to an extent have been fantastic in there. The left back's gone up and down just depending on who we've got. Tomiyasu's been fit the last 7 games, I think, and he played every minute because he's very, very good one-on-one defender. So maybe in a left back in the summer, but I think that's why they bought Timber, and he played the first game and the last game.
Came on at the weekend.
Back and did his ACL first game of the season. But that's where Arsenal will look to improve, and yeah, it hurts now. It hurt back in 2022 when we missed out in Champions League. It hurt last year, faltering with last 10 games, and this year we didn't really falter. We just didn't have enough in it. We didn't do enough to beat Man City at the end of the day.
Just drop points in certain games, and that's cost you. There's nothing. That is what it is. Like, it's not. I don't know. There's not.
If you lose one game, like your last 17 games, and the only other point you drop is against drop points to Man City away is. I do think Man City are probably the only team in the Premier League that can win the league without going to one of the big boys and winning. I remember I said back in December, we need to go to Anfield and win. Go to the Etihad and win. Like, that puts a statement down. No, not many teams do that, and I think Liverpool did the blueprint 2-3 years ago to win the league, and they have to be impeccable until Man City. The gap's just too big, and as soon as you get into a title race with Man City, and I've got their stats under Pep Guardiola in there, the title running is just scary. Because I think when Liverpool won it, they'd won every single game from the first game till like mid-February. They drew 1 against United away, and they'd beaten everyone. And then COVID came around that March time, but already then I think they were like 18 points clear. I remember the last game, I think they beat United 2-0 or something, and then they were like saying, we're going to win the league, and they were 18 points clear of Man City with maybe 15 games to go, and they were like, they're going to win this year. And then COVID hit, and then Man City fell off. I think Man City got 72 points that year or something like that. But in, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The last 7 seasons under Pep, they've literally greens.
Yeah, they won 6 leagues.
Annoyingly, this season was the first time they've won all 6. Typical. But last season, they'd won 15 on the trot, I think, something like that. And then obviously once they'd won the league, they drew to Brighton and lost to Brentford because they were already on there. They were really looking forward to the Champions League and FA Cup. Year before, 5 wins, 1 draw. Year before that, 4 wins, 2 losses, but I think they'd already won it by then. That was the COVID season, sorry. And then, it was just 18, 19, 6 wins again. 17, 18, 6 wins. They're an impeccable team.
Yeah, they have the best manager in the world. Arguably, he could be one of the best managers ever, and they have built and bought some of the best players in the world and paid them the highest amount of money. So they're built, and their foundations are from Abu Dhabi money, Sheikh Mansour, and that is Man City. But they are, from that point, they've got it bang on. Okay, they've started, and they've obviously got 115 things overhanging them, and no one knows what's going to happen. But from that moment they built, and they've quickly established themselves, and they are very good. There's no, I don't know, and that's why for me anyway is that I'm not bothered about Man City like Chelsea. We have that rivalry, but Chelsea are built on Russian money off of Abramovich, so that's not they could win everything. That doesn't bother me as much as if West Ham win anything, or Arsenal win something, or maybe even Man United will start winning again. But they're just, Man City are just freaks. They are just absolute freaks.
Well, that's what you mentioned. That no one cares.
No
one cares. Like I don't think I've seen one. We've got the the picture for the episode was Pep Guardiola, and I had to search like long and hard for this picture because it didn't just naturally come on my timeline. I was like, where is this? Where's the picture of their title parade, and like where's the picture of their presentation and stuff? Because they win all the time, and probably because they've become a new force in the last 15 years that where we didn't go to school then they haven't come through the ranks.
Yeah,
I bet you if you went to school now, and
you've grown up.
I bet there's a large percentage of people, like kids at Sandon, for example, that are Man City.
Yeah, for whatever reason, definitely. But like I said, they're built on from Abu Dhabi money, and it's a Man City fans be like, oh, we had this before, we had these sort of players, but no, you're just totally irrelevant before that point, and they are dominant now, and they've been dominant for years. But we've seen it all before. We go because people say about that argument, oh, is the dominance boring? It's not good for league. It's blah blah all this, but United were dominant from '92 to 2003. They won 8 out of 11 leagues. They've won 13 league titles. Their dominance stopped when Fergie left, but they started this. They had broke British record transfer fees before the 2000s, into the 2000s. Ferdinand, Veron, they were all Andy Cole when they bought him from Newcastle. Yeah, Rooney was another example. So, and at the time they had Ferguson, who's an incredible manager, who was also given the best players, but also he could do it with absolute shockers. He had Wes Brown, John O'Shea, the Raphael brothers. Like, they're just a few examples. So we've seen the dominance before, and it's just now City's turn. And Man United done it before. They won 3 in a row. So I think the dominant argument, and it's not good for league and stuff. And I don't know, we've seen it before, and it's happening right now. And I think Newcastle, if they get it right with their Saudi owners, could. Oh, sorry, I think there's an animal on the roof trying to get in. But I think Newcastle, if the Saudi people get it right in their ownership right now, that they could be like City in 5 to 10 years. We don't know.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think the difference with the Newcastle thing is one man, and it's Pep Guardiola. Fergie was the reason that Man United could make English football a monopoly. They could own who they wanted. They could buy the best players, the best young players from the best English clubs. A bit like what Bayern Munich's transfer strategy has been: is buy the best German players from the teams around them.
So they can't do it.
So they can't do it. Look at Rooney's, Louis Saha. I don't know why I picked Louis Saha out of all these players. Rio Ferdinand. They bought the best players. And
they had Alan Smith when they took him from Leeds. Yeah. Took Andy Cole from Newcastle.
Even the last one he did, Robin Van Persie, like just to keep Arsenal down there, buy their best player. And Pep Guardiola, you could put Eric Ten Hag in front of Man City, in front of charge of Man City, and Man United spend just as much money, but Man City have done it
a few years
before, and that's what they've built. Their £30 million players were the likes of 30, 40, 50 were like De Bruyne, Kyle Walker. I can't remember, even with Yaya Toure, and
that is a large amount of money, but they're also on ridiculous wages. But 100%, the net spend, that sort of stat that keeps coming up. The top 5, Man City are 6th, and I think Chelsea are top. United, Arsenal might be 3rd at the minute. Spurs are actually 4th somehow. But like you said, they done all the big spending really, really early on, and it's now the wages obviously are still very high, but they not all the time have to go and spend 100 million. Like Arsenal just have had that big moment with Rice and whoever else that Havertz in the previous summer. Man City are sort of a couple seasons ahead.
And like I said, now Man City have that. They don't have to go out and buy these players. They can now sell, and they've been very good at selling their youth players for silly money, like Cole Palmer. Yeah. Although now, he's been proven to be worth that money, but I think Chelsea bought for £45 million at deadline day. A lot of us scoffed at that. I was like, classic Chelsea, clueless what they're doing. They sold the summer before Lavia to Southampton and Bazgan, the goalkeeper, and they sold a lot of these youth players out. I think even got £20 million for Trafford from Burnley. I think some under the table deal been done there with all his old mate company. But I do think the 115 charge is something that looms over their head, and I think most people just write City off because they got money. It is what it is. Although United, like I said, spend just as much, but they spend it horrifically.
Yeah, they've done it horribly for too long.
You can write off City winning things just for that, and it doesn't mean anything. Like this Saturday's gonna be a perfect example. Like I've moaned about City, and I will continue to moan at them, but I really dislike Man United more, and I want them to win the FA Cup. I want Man City to win the FA Cup. Just because, so what? Doesn't mean anything. Because otherwise you'll have that idiot Ten Hag
on the microphone
on
again.
the microphone. Oh my god!
But that's like with City. I'd absolutely love that to have been Tottenham, and I'm sure you'd like that to have been Arsenal and West Ham fans, whoever, Chelsea, whoever, Liverpool, whoever you support. If that's your club, you're rubbing your hands together. You've won all these titles. You've won trophies here and there. You've got brilliant players. You've got the best manager. You absolutely don't care. But also in the same breath that, for majority of other teams and fans, Man City can win it always. It doesn't bother me.
Because I don't know what the decisions are going to be and what the outcome will be. What is interesting, and I don't know if you had it in your on your broadcast in Albania, was, or if you knew that the Premier League chief executive went to the Arsenal game.
No, I didn't.
So he didn't have to shake hands and present the trophy to Man City. And our lovely friend Jules Breach asked him the question. I was like, "Why did you pick Arsenal?" And he goes, "Well, to be honest, there wasn't much science behind it. It was after Spurs and the Man City played a midweek. It was decided within our office that I was going to go to the Arsenal game." And goes, that was just about it, really. And it's just like, that's so fishy. That's so He can't be seen to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can put two and two together. Like, he doesn't want to be there because obviously they're under investigation.
Yeah.
The whole, it just looks stupid, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
but like I said, I think that needs.
The fact that it's been 15 months since they released the things, and they're obviously shit scared because if, for example, I don't know much detail into it at all, but if they got found guilty of all 150 or whatever, the lawsuits that the Premier League will then get for allowing it to happen and taking it so long, like there'll be every club in there can go up and say, well, they stopped us winning the league by breaking the rules and blah 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 and blah blah blah. Yeah,
it would be ridiculous. Obviously we don't know. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they're for, but yeah.
I also don't think anyone can take on Man City in court. UEFA tried it and they look like fucking idiots. Because old Sheikh Mansour will get his lawyers in.
Yeah, get the bomb squad together.
And get it round. But that doesn't take anything away from the fact that they've won 19 and drawn 4 of the last 23 league games since losing to Aston Villa in December. That's just nuts, isn't it?
I think I might mention it a bit when we talk about the team season, and I think if anyone talks about team season, you've got obviously a couple City players, I assume, but I wouldn't say, I don't know, 8, 9 of their players, I wouldn't say a standard, he's got to be like it. That sort of explains it. It's almost that feeling toward the same as why you think City can win it, is that their players are just, it just is what it is. Like, they're just good. They just win. They've obviously had some brilliant players this season, but yeah,
that's very true. I've got a couple. I think mine's
like,
predominantly Arsenal, and that's. I think there's probably only one player that you might level out as being biased in there, but that's about it. They are a very, very good team, but like I said, this season I don't think, where De Bruyne has been injured for a lot of it, Foden's obviously been their starlight. Haaland's top goal scorer, and you can't take anything away from it, but he hasn't been the Haaland of last season when he got like 40 goals, wherever he got in the Premier League. They've just done a Man City and just won every game. Just been relentless like they always are. Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, it's a good point. I never really thought about that. They haven't been. Normally, I think last year you had Akanji, Stones, Diaz, maybe even the goalkeeper. You had De Bruyne in there, Rodri in there. Then you had.
I think the goalkeeper's a good, because irrelevant of cleans just on purely opinion, but Ederson obviously is a good goalkeeper, and Ortega comes in, but the fact Ortega just comes in and plays, and there's no real difference. Like, they just still win. I think that just explains the whole point. In that, I wouldn't say Ederson's a bad goalie, but I've never thought, bloody hell, I'd love Ederson at Tottenham. Like, I think he'd be brilliant. Like, I don't know. Yeah, just
the only time you think that is when he sprays a 65-yard pass to Haaland's toes, isn't it? That you don't.
Because he doesn't almost need to make saves, because all right, they concede, but they go and score 3 or 4. So,
and he's not as busy as someone like Alisson. I think Alisson's the better goalkeeper in terms of like goalkeeping abilities. But if you want to put a pass on a sixpence and get his left foot wand and just wraps it into the centre forward. But no, you must have been quite relieved then once it's all over. And
especially after the midweek, like.
That was a weird game, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was a horrible position for us to be in, and all the rest of it. But I've just got my notes here, but there is and there has been a world, and it 100% can exist, where Ange wants to win, but the fans would rather see us lose, because we don't want to essentially hand Arsenal the title. That is a world that can exist and should exist. Like, that's just the way it is. And don't know if we were battling for something or don't know on a mad run, but we also lost 4 in a row. We got whacked by Fulham. We've picked up some horrible results. Where was all this passion and the energy for these other games? Where was all the passion Arsenal at home when we could actually physically stop your season as such there and then? But so yeah, I think his comments after were very maybe not unnecessary, but within Tottenham it just wasn't needed. He could have just come out and said, "Oh, yeah, I understand the fans' point of view, but I'm the manager. We're trying to win. Blah blah. Move on." But again, the hoo-ha beforehand, during, and after is ridiculous. All from the media, all set up from Sky, TalkSport. It's all we heard. Tottenham Champions League. Champions League was never gonna. It just wasn't happening. It just wasn't gonna happen, and that's because of our own doing and our poor form and poor results. But yeah, again, there was none of this for West Ham at the weekend, and they didn't have Bowen playing. That's not allowed, is it? They went to Man City and lost. Is that correct? Like, I didn't know that was allowed. So yeah, I'm glad it's over. It's done. Move on.
Yeah, because there was a lot of hoo-ha. On paper, that's Man City's hardest game of the season every year, and it was, from a selfish point of view, frustrating that they put it where they put it.
Yeah.
If it was 2 weeks before, then maybe you would have wanted to win that game because you could have still got top
and
4.
Could have still got
because
top
the way
4.
Villa ended the season,
Shocking. But somehow we were just even worse, and that's
Yeah.
why they got top 4.
Yeah.
And like you said, if that we could have played Man City the second game of the season at home, don't know, 1-2-0 and thought nothing of it. But because we were directly involved and we could have, obviously we affected it in some way, then of course not. You're stupid to think that we'd actually want us to beat Man City because we knew what could happen after. So yeah, it's just it is what it is.
And Man City have the chance on Saturday to become the first ever team to win back-to-back doubles, I believe. I believe I read that correctly, which is pretty nuts. Do you hold much hope for Erik ten Hag's Man United?
No. I was going to say even if they still had Champions League and they were going for that, maybe, but no.
They'd probably motivate them more. Although, if you seen all the pictures this morning, they've all come out of nightclub at 5 a.m.
No, they'll still win. Yeah, United are well off it unless they just they're like horrible and it's like a disgusting horrible game. It's time wasting fouls and they just stinge their way to a 1-0 or something, maybe penalties. But yeah, I can only see Man City coming out on top.
Any more to add on the title race, or do you want to move on to?
No, Tottenham 5th, Chelsea reached 6th after. They could have potentially finished 5th after a.
I think that will paint over a lot of cracks at Chelsea, that 6th position, because they were horrific the first half of the season. But fair play to them.
Maybe that's the thing, Pochettino's first season, maybe.
They've really turned it around last few weeks and caught up. Luton finally relegated, officially, rubber stamped. And that's about it, wasn't it? Palace thumped Villa. Yeah. I think that was a very... I actually said to Griff in the week, I said, if you could handpick an opponent for Man City to have to play in the last game of the season, excluding the top 6, who'd you pick? And we're both like, God, I'd love to give them Palace away.
Yeah, they've been very good the last
Palace
few games.
Away, yeah.
Very good. But no, nothing.
Right. Let's move on to team of the season. So Jack and I will both pick our own teams, and then we'll do like a post to see the ones that we've picked, have them like in green or something together, and the ones that we didn't. Do you want to run for it one by one, or do we do position goalkeeper, and we do our defence and do midfield? And
let's go position. So goalkeeper, and I've got 4 and a 3. Yeah, 4-3-3.
Yeah,
so,
same. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think just go like for like.
Goalkeeper, I actually struggled on this one the most.
Yeah, this is a position I struggled on.
Because I actually put a note here. Should we give it to the fans to vote? If we're
I'm happy to do that.
If we're going to do a combined one.
I know we just said that, but I'd happily, because I've got 3 names down.
Yeah, same.
But I'd say 2 of those names, well, one definitely shouldn't be in the team season, but it's just like an honourable mention. But let's go for it and we'll get to it.
My 3 names are in no particular order.
Yeah.
David Raya, Vicario, and Jordan Pickford.
No. I've got this. Yeah, I've got Pickford highlighted, Raya, question mark, and Vicario question mark. And like we said, I was saying earlier about Edison. Like, I probably think of Alisson and think, yeah, you're a brilliant goalkeeper. And I just looked at it, and Raya, you can't argue. I think he played 32 games in the end, and
16 clean sheets.
Yeah, 6 the Golden Glove. Came in when it was a bit of a debate between him and Ramsdale. There was a bit of commotion about it all, and he's settled in, and that argument is totally gone. And like I say, but in the same way,
he's also thrown a couple of in his own net. Like
he's had some shockers, but I also wouldn't say. Again, I wouldn't say Raya is a fantastic. He's not a fantastic, but I wouldn't say he's absolutely incredible, makes some incredible saves. But I would say that about Vicario, and that as an individual player, yes, we've had a bit of an up and down season, poor results, we've got smashed some games, but as a goalie, I think he's brilliant. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper. And again, he's had some shockers. He's targeting certain areas, and then Pickford is the second most clean sheets behind Raya, and he's a classic Dyche, and he's epitomises Everton perfectly. Yeah. And I hope he carries on and we do well in it with England in the Euros. But he's a name because I've looked at. I'm sure you have Carragher's and Neville's and other pundits and people, and they're picking out him. But I also think that people are I'm rabbling on, but they're picking him because they don't want to pick Raya because that's like they want to be a bit edgy and a bit. Let's look at elsewhere, and then Pickford's done really well. He's got loads of clean sheets, and so for goalies. All in all, I don't know.
No, I didn't know. And Pickford's sort of he weren't great at the beginning of the season. And the last 10 games where he's kept 7, 8 clean sheets, he's really sped up and he's looked solid. Whereas before he was a bit shaky. Remember he had that shock against Chelsea. And Vicario, I think, has been the epitome of, not epitome, is that the right word? Vicario's season has gone just like Spurs' season. Started off people saying, time of the season, goalkeeper of the season, and then I think 1 clean sheet since January, and that was yesterday. And people have obviously targeted him for the from the corners and set pieces. Raya, rocky start like you said. Few mistakes against in the Champions League one. I remember in the group stages, couple against Luton, obviously the Spurs one, but also a couple of assists and 16. My voice went 16
clean
sheets.
But I think that leads into the defence and without being a big reason to why. So
and without being too, I couldn't put. I don't know. I just couldn't put 2 Spurs players in that team because I don't think Spurs deserve to have 2 players in the team this season. That was my reason for not picking.
No, I don't. I don't think. I don't think Vicario should be the team. No, but in the same way, he's I'm sort of leaning. I think others have.
Mine was probably Pickford. My number one, I was probably going to.
Yeah, and I think others have lent away from Raya because the other side of the team could be heavily dominated by Arsenal. So, I think you're right. Let's leave it out there.
Because our little running joke was Raya made no saves this week.
Yeah,
he never did.
And it's not because he's bad or good.
I don't think he made many saves yesterday either.
So maybe we put those 3, or do we just leave a box and just see who gets the most responses? I'm not sure. We'll
leave it empty, but we could put them 3 as the vote and go from there.
No, I like it.
This is the one I mentioned earlier, my right back, that I said is the only one that you may disagree on in terms of bias. And I'll fight anyone. It's Ben White.
Oh no, I'm with you. I've got Ben White. I've got Ben White. No, I think
I think he's been the best right back this season.
Yeah, he's quite defined. He's now his second season fully right back. He's defined within Arsenal and what they're doing. That is his position, and I don't like him. I don't like him personally.
I was coming fully armed for this.
No. Put your gun away. It's okay.
Three lose the weeks.
Yeah,
this season.
Deserved though. Yeah, but fully deserved. He looks like an absolute prat, but he's also very good at football, and he's. I think he has been the best right back. Trying to go top of my head, trying to think.
It's about to go surgery, I think, tomorrow, or something like that.
I think there's better right backs than him, but this season they haven't performed. I think
this was the discussion I was having with JJ in the week, and he said Kyle Walker, and I said Kyle Walker has not been the best right back this season. No. He's probably the best right back the Premier League's ever seen.
Yeah, and he's very good.
Very,
and he has
very
been good.
But he hasn't been the best this season. No chance.
No. And again, I don't want to bang on about Spurs, but we were started well, and our whole team looked good, and Porro isn't, and probably won't be, but he started well, and then he's fallen off, and he's just standard. But I can't think of Trippier. I think Trippier is a better right back. I think Kyle Walker is a better right back, like you just said, and Trent is probably a better right back, but yeah, I don't think.
I think consistently he's been 7.5 out of 10 every single game.
Yeah, 4 goals, 4 assists, and Ben White. I don't like him, but
the two centre halves, Saliba and Gabriel.
I did go away from Gabriel, but I don't. No further comment on Gabriel. I just don't. Again, I don't like him. I don't like Arsenal. I
think Gabriel's had a better season than Saliba.
Yeah, possibly. No comment. But I put Saliba in because I knew that one of them has to go in. Has to.
Well, that's all the neutrals. They always go for Saliba. Saliba got voted for in the Player of the Season.
Yeah.
Gabriel has been just as good, if not better. He scored more goals. I think he's more of an important player in terms of his aggression. Saliba's the Rio Ferdinand of the Vidic, and he's like he's the silky one.
Yeah.
But Gabriel's a fucking animal.
Yeah. No, I've gone Van Dijk. I just think again he's not back to his best, but he's just a monster, and he is just a man mountain of a centre half, and so yeah, I've picked Saliba and Van Dijk, but yeah, I think Gabriel definitely question mark for him. Possibly Vardy. I'm not sure if you're back your left back situation or the left side centre back.
Left back, I've gone best of a bad bunch, and this might be a bit harsh. I've put a doggy in there.
Yeah,
because
I've got a doggy too.
Let me start again. Team of the season is usually your top 2, top 4. Who's been the best players in them teams, basically, isn't it? And left back, Arsenal consistently switched out.
Yeah. Until
the last 10 games, Man City have switched out all the time. And Garverhole, I've seen some people put him in the team or try and play a back 3. I don't think he's done enough to be in there because at the beginning of the season he was a bit of a joke meme.
And he's a centre half, and I know he's but like Pep and Arsenal doing a similar thing, but like you said about Cole Walker, he's just a solid 7, maybe 7.5, the odd exceptional game, and yeah, they're just good players. But I think similar to the Vicaria in that the impact a single player has had in his first season, young player, new team, new manager. I think he is a very, you could see it even when we're crap, he is very, very good. And like I said, I think we said right at the start of the season we picked like a little hidden gem or whatever, and I think Dogie won't be at Tottenham very long.
And I always like to use this expression. It was like players' stock rises when they don't play, and look at the state of your left hand side in the last 6 weeks.
Well, no, and we only recently put Van der Ven left back from Man City, and that's what we've been wanting for God knows. And yeah, Van der Ven is I think he could have been in any of those positions as a defender if he'd have played a full season every single game, but. Yeah, he's just a freak, and finally he's been playing left back when Adogie's out. But yeah, I think Adogie, like I said, the impact a single person has had, the impression and similar to Van der Ven in the impression they've made. I think he's
because over the last 3-4 years it's been Robertson, but he's been injured this season, hasn't really played.
And going back to the point, there's not many options. No. Luke Shaw's been out, Robertson's like you said has been out. Yeah, Arsenal like you said chop and change. City do the same. Villa,
Luka Digne.
Not that impressive at all, really. Yeah,
I think Mikalenko was the only one I thought was actually had a pretty decent season. But I can't put an Everton player. No. I can't put Everton left back.
Chelsea left back just all over the show.
Yeah, although Cucurella's played well the last 5 games, but there wasn't.
No, I agree. I think Adogie. Definitely.
My midfield 3 is somehow he wasn't nominated for Player of the Season, which is beyond me. He's the best player in the Premier League.
Who?
Rodri.
Oh, yeah, I know.
How was he not?
Rodri,
Rodri, Rice, and Odegaard.
I've gone Foden, purely on the attack. Odegaard, 100% well worth the argument, and I think it's a toss-up. The next, if you had 4 in midfield, 2 up front, or if you've got 3 midfielders, 3 attackers, however you want to play it could all be a total toss-up, I think. But yeah, I've gone Rice, Rodri, and Foden in the middle.
Yeah, I think it's an absolute disgrace that Rodri wasn't in the PFA.
Because every time he plays, they show the thing is like games without Rodri, they lose 3 or whatever it's been, and then with him.
Arsenal away, Aston Villa away, and I can't remember the other team he didn't play against. They lost.
And all the pundits, they all go on about him, and you ask players, De Bruyne, blah, blah, who's the best player? Rodri, but like you said, it's not in the.
No. Rice probably arguably signing the season. I know we paid £105 million for him, but that's pretty cheap.
Worth it, I think.
Pretty well worth it because he is just a level under Rodri at the moment, but time will tell if he can get there. And he's been absolutely transformative for us because if we hadn't signed him, we'd have been fourth.
Yeah.
Because Thomas Partey can't play football anymore, and he'll have to go in the summer because he just doesn't play enough games. Jorginho's good, but can only play X amount of games, and he's just been an absolute fucking monster in that middle of the park.
Yeah,
and I don't think I really appreciated how good he was until I watched him every single week.
Yeah,
and he is just a very, very good player. And David Moyes said it himself. Why do you think West Ham have struggled this season? Conceded a lot of goals, and he's Declan Rice doesn't play for us anymore.
Yeah, him and Rodri are pretty.
And it's scary to think if Man City had signed Declan Rice, like we might as well pack up and go play somewhere else. I've gone Odegaard. I think he's been Arsenal's best player this season. I think he's been fantastic. Captain of the club, just 2 goals, 2 assists yesterday. Just he's the one. If it's not Saka, he's the one that always.
You can't count the second goal assist.
Well, he missed the ball. He still gives it the last touch.
He's tried to skill us. That was just a mess up. That's like watching me play football. No way. That is not having that.
Stats will go down as an assist. He's just a very, very good player. Very good player, and he leads by example. And I think he's like sort of the quote unquote modern day captain. Instead of this Roy Keane shouting in your face and passion, lead by example, run around a lot, and do good things on the pitch, basically.
No, yeah, I've got Foden. Yeah, like we said, he's been very, very good for Man City. You can play him out the wing, and people might do that. Where he might play there for England, but I think in a little number 10, Foden, very, very good.
I've got Foden in the left-hand side. I've got a front 3 of Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, and I've gone for Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, I've gone Palmer as well. 22 goals, 11 assists, had penalties, blah blah. And I just argued the point about Odegaard's assists, but that again looks very good on paper. Watkins 19 goals, 13 assists as well. As a striker, I think that's quite incredible, really. And Emery plays like one single striker, and in a league like we just said, we have Bernardo Silva, Odegaard, Kevin De Bruyne, Maddison. He's top of the assists. All right, Palmer's just below him, and I think Kevin De Bruyne's 10 or 11 assists where he's got. But yeah, that is pretty good. I think fully deserved. And I've got Haaland. Okay, might not look him and think, but the hardest thing to do in football, score goals. He scored 27, and people think, oh, he's not been that good. So I think he deserves it. Yeah, no, I've
got 2 wingers, and I thought Haaland has got the top boot, the golden boot, top goal scorer. Obviously, fantastic season. I just think Ollie Watkins has had a better season. Like you said, them 13 assists mean a lot, and to score 21 goals, 19 goals for Aston Villa is very, very good. And I just think he's had a better individual season than Erling Haaland. I don't think Erling Haaland has. How do I word it? I think if he wanted to go to another level, he could. I don't think he's been his best. We've seen how good he can be.
Yeah, true. But I just think that he's going to dominate the goal scorers charts for years. And he scored 27 on top. And
we didn't think much of it.
No, and then next year he'll score 28, 30, and it'll be the same conversation. But you obviously compare it to last season, you think, oh, he's not doing well. But he scored 27 goals. They've won the league again, so he must be doing something well. But yeah, no, 100%. The argument is there for plenty of these players, and like I said, I think the front 6 could be you could chop and change and throw names about all day.
So we've got about 2 or 3 difference.
Yeah, I think I've got Foden. You've got Odegaard. You've got Gabriel. I went Van Dijk.
And you had Haaland, yeah.
And I've gone Haaland because you've gone Foden forward. So yeah, pretty similar. I think many team of the seasons will be similar.
Pretty much similar, isn't it? There's a few positions up for debate, but I think you've got most of them.
And I think we're right in the goalie you could argue about anything, and again, I think Pickford's being thrown in there, and I've put him down, but purely on the stats. And I've never watched Everton. He's had some good games and good moments, so like they all players do. But yeah, don't know. Goalie's quite hard for me.
Like I said, there hasn't really been a standout. All 3 of these goalkeepers give you reasons not to pick them.
100, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a perfect way to explain it, I think. Yeah.
Right. Shall we go into our winner and loser? Or we've got manager of the season to round it off. Top of your head. Do you want me to press?
Emery.
Do you want me to hang up right now?
Good evening.
No chance.
I think that's. I don't think. I'm not saying he's the best manager in the league. That's not what I'm saying. But to get Aston Villa into the Champions League, I know other teams around them falter, blah blah. But that is usually the case when you look at the sides that have finished 5th, 6th, blah blah. I think that's quite incredible for him. For him and Aston Villa.
Who won manager of the season last year? Was it Pep? Can't remember.
Don't know. It probably was. 'Cause I don't remember.
Yeah, I'd say Pep again because I know
But
it wasn't Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
And Eddie Howe did the same what fucking
True.
Dracula's done, and everyone's been sucking his blood.
Yeah, and that's the argument that happens when you talk about managers is that you've won the league, so surely you've had the best season, but then do you again try and be edgy and a bit different and look at other reasons? If Luton would have stayed up, Rob Edwards would have got it. There's. I think you can have
the Bournemouth manager. So if you wanted to be edgy, you could
his first season in. It sounds ridiculous, but Postecoglou's first season in England and all the rest of it at Tottenham, blah blah, finishing 5th above Chelsea, above Man United. That people could say these things, but I think Pep won the league 4 in a row. You can't really argue. Probably will win the FA Cup.
Yeah, hopefully. Gary O'Neill.
Yeah, Gary O'Neill. Because but you joke.
I had to go down
because the expectations of what people predicted and then what's actually happened. Everyone's like, oh,
Moyes.
I would. It'd be Emery then Moyes.
No, I'll go Pep.
Through gritted teeth.
Right, winner of the week. I have gone for Crystal Palace. I actually went there on Wednesday. I had a quite nice evening on my own. 7 unbeaten to end the season, and they're looking a really good team, fun to watch. The feel good factor is back at Selhurst Park.
Yep.
The new manager, was it Oliver Glasner? Glasner has really turned them around, and most importantly, he's got Eze fit and Elise fit. And the amount of times we've said it together, like, them two together, is just a joke. The first goal, I think Mateta scores, is either going to be Elise assist or Eze assist. It's just Mateta's turned into like prime Drogba, shaved his head and just gone skinny.
Loves booting the corner flag.
And just hat trick on the final day.
But he just screams Barclays, doesn't he? Mateta, just this little purple patch, just
is Roddy Ager.
Yeah. But I also love those sort of players. Like, funny.
Whether they can keep hold of them 2 diamonds, I don't know. I would love to, playing Football Manager, get rid of like a Nelson and a Smith Rowe, and have that as an Eze. Like put Eze.
Ketia needs to go to Palace.
Yeah, but they need to. Oh yeah, they all need to go there. But that's the sort of player. Just like he's a real top player. I think. I really like Elise as well. Elise would be a great option for like Saka, swap him in and out and things like that. Don't know if he can stay fit. I think he'd also be the more expensive one of the 2. But I've got Crystal Palace because 7 unbeaten, and in that 7 run they beat Liverpool at Anfield, hammered West Ham, beat Newcastle, drew to Fulham, smashed Man United, 3-1 away at Wolves, and then hammered Aston Villa 5-0. And there's some going to end the season.
Mine's simple, win of the week. I threw these notes together earlier on. I've just gone simple, Man City, 4 in a row, win of the week. There's a lot of conversation going around with charges and whatever else and all the rest of it, but Man City win of the week for me.
My lose of the week. I don't know if you've seen this clip going around the rounds on Twitter and on social media. The Arsenal fan walking on his own through the Chelsea mob, should we call them, or
surely that was a bet or a horrible idea. Or
he's walked through like a normal human being, just walked through, mind his own business. And then you had this one clown in the block core Frank Lampard shirt, number 8. Shirt's far too old for him to be wearing. And he's giving it the big in, shouting at him, trying to square up to him, saying, come on, mate. The bloke's walked straight past him, not a matter in the world.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the police officers come to step to him, he's basically done a 180 and ran away. And some of the comments were classic, like, if it wasn't for the invisible wall in the football hooliganism world, That poor bloke. It's just like he knows he's not going to do anything because
No.
he's surrounded. And even if he did hit him, and then the Arsenal fan hit him back, he'd just get piled on him. So he knows he's in a win-win situation. He knows he's never going to get into a fight. It's all on camera. Fucking clown. Just
No, I've seen that.
everyone thinks they're a gangster until a real gangster walks in their room.
Yeah, classic.
Classic chills. Classic chills.
Out of chills.
That is the epitome of Clarsnell versus Dirty Chelsea.
But then why is that Arsenal fan walking through his top?
Maybe he lives down the road.
No, yeah, but he knows he doesn't live under a rock.
Yeah, but they're not there to fight. They're classy fans. It's just they're held high, great posture, walk straight through, not a bother in the world. And all these Chelsea oiks.
I've gone loser of the week. You might like this one. I've gone Thogdan. Thogdan, you could probably throw his dad in Thogdad. Bolton lost in League One playoff final. Was it 2-0?
Yeah.
To Oxford
Josh
United.
Murphy double.
Yeah, over the weekend. I'm not Thogdan, if you don't know, creates content, quote unquote, and YouTube videos and talks on stuff, whatever. He's a Bolton fan, and he gets himself in some peculiar situations. So have that one, Thogdan.
Yeah, he paid for all these Bolton fans to go down, and then I saw he then sent a message to like Sport Bible, basically said that you can be the first ones to post this story. So you basically just done it for some clout. No, very good. Yeah, very good. Right, prediction: FA Cup final.
2-0 Man City. Finals are never exciting, like we said before. Yeah, I was going to say 4-0 Man City, just be 2-0.
Man City have won FA Cup final 6-0, I think, once, and they beat Watford.
Yeah.
It was 2-1 last year, or 2-0 last year, I think. 2.
Yeah, it was an early goal, and it couldn't
Didn't Bruno Fernandes get a penalty or something? I can't remember.
Might have, yeah.
And then De Gea made a shocker.
I think, 2-0 Man City.
3. I'm going to go 3-0. 3-0 City. Right. With the season coming to a close yesterday, can you tell me the top 3 players who were caught offside the most?
Brennan Johnson?
No, he was 6th, I think. He was up there.
Son?
No.
Okay, I'll stay away from Spurs now. It's on even top 10.
Can't remember.
No.
I've got the top 3 here.
If Decore's 4th, it just doesn't help at all, does it? It's not. There's no.
They're all strikers.
Not Decore. Oh, Nicholas Jackson.
Number 2.
Yeah. Ollie Watkins.
Nope.
Haaland.
Nope. Think Nicholas Jackson sort of
Level. I know you're saying that. Yeah. Okay.
bit of a brain dead player.
Mateta.
Mateta's number 3.
Really? Brain dead player. That's
Joint
brilliant.
3rd.
How many times has Jackson been caught offside?
28. Which I didn't think it was that much.
Doesn't sound a lot. And Mateta, obviously a little bit less.
24.
So when you said brain dead player, you weren't expecting me to say Mateta. No. So number 1 is a brain dead striker.
Yeah. Especially a top 6 team.
Oh, Darwin Núñez.
Darwin.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll be there next year.
I was going through, when you said top 6, I was going through it, and yeah.
And then the other one, joint 3rd, is Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Interesting.
Which is, I didn't surprise me because he hasn't played much football. So to be offside 24 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darwin Núñez got offside 33 times.
That does sound quite...
And Nicholas Jackson, when I saw them two at the top 2, I was like,
of course.
Classic.
Very good.
Right, that rounds it all up.
That's the end of a Premier League season.
Second one we've done now.
Wow.
Second Premier League season. We finished second both times.
Yeah, you've had a quite good. We started podcast at the right time for you. We finished 9th. Sold the best player ever and having a meltdown with a fat Aussie. So yeah, we're doing alright. I'm still here.
Yeah, no, we haven't had a league title yet under our names yet. Between one of us, maybe next year.
Well, yeah, that's my fear has just been postponed for a year.
Third time lucky.
So
surely we're coming.
Is it third time lucky? Can City win 5 in a row? If Pep stays, I think quite possibly. But
does Arne's slot win the title?
Or
is it Arne's slot?
Either way, it's awful. I saw Klopp's screaming his head off at the weekend.
Does Graham Potter win it for Man United? Gareth Southgate? Does Southgate win the Euros and then the Premier League next season?
No, no, he doesn't. Is Potter going to Brighton? Is that true?
Potter going back to Brighton?
Apparently so. Not sure.
I don't know. I haven't.
Because obviously De Zerbi's gone.
I don't know. I know the favourite was last night. Kieran McKenna, but I would doubt he would go.
No, one season at least with Ipswich.
Yeah, surely you want to have that.
Mm.
But we shall see. But no, that's mad. 2 seasons done.
2 seasons done. Like we said, obviously got the Euros this summer, but come back next season with Ipswich Town.
Yeah,
in the big time.
We'll have. I saw JJ at the weekend. He's desperate to come back on, so we'll get him on. Get him on soon. Maybe even for a Euros thing or something. Yeah,
good.
He'd enjoy that. And then again for Ipswich Town special before the pre-season starts. We actually got the top 3 right. Arsenal, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and then we both said Man United. I think.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I know. Obviously hindsight, but yeah, bad shout.
Yeah,
I mean, I was never going to say Villa, but yeah,
Mason Mount, good signing.
Well, stats don't lie, do they?
Yeah. Caltech, hidden gem. He had an alright season.
Might be coming Spurs, apparently, according to the papers.
Yeah, I'll fucking leave. I'd delete all my tweets about him if he did.
What else did we do?
I had Curtis Jones to be in the England squad.
Yeah. I said, what was mine?
That was yours, was Mason Mount.
Yeah. I said a Dogie for the hidden gem. My championship prediction is awful.
Yeah, we were all pretty pants.
Yeah.
Relegation, we both got 2 out of 3.
Do we?
I had Wolves and you had Forest. We both had Luton.
Right,
we both had Luton and
Sheffield
United. Yeah. But yeah, we'll be back. I always enjoy them episodes, the prediction ones.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a Euros one, top goal scorer.
Yeah, I think so.
Things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll leave it there. Thank you all again for listening.
Yep.
And stay loyal.
Stay loyal.